This is 6-4 part 2 for rhombus, rectangles, and squares. And we left off on theorem 612, which deal with parallelograms and our rhombuses. And we're talking about their diagonals on this rhombus. Remember, rhombuses, their segments are congruent. Okay? And now we're talking about this theorem 612. It deals with diagonals. So the diagonal AC on the rhombus and the diagonal BD on the rhombus. Here's another special feature about the parallelogram rhombus. When I have my diagonals AC and BD on this rhombus, what happens is AC is going to bisect this angle here, angle A, and it's also going to bisect this angle C. Remember, bisect means we cut into two congruent pieces. So AC, that diagonal, will cut this angle A into two congruent pieces and angle C into two congruent pieces as well. Also, same thing happens with BD. It's going to bisect angle ADC and angle CBA. These two angles will be congruent. Let me back that up just one more time. So we have the diagonal BD on a rhombus. Remember, we're talking about the rhombus. This particular diagonal BD is going to bisect that angle B into two congruent angles. Same thing with D. It's going to bisect them into two congruent angles. So now angle B is in two congruent pieces. That means CBD is congruent to ABD. Okay, because the diagonal BD has caused it to be in two congruent angles or bisecting. And then finally, 613, a parallelogram is a rectangle. It's a parallelogram rectangle if and only if its diagonals are congruent. So here I have, remember, on a rectangle, I have here on this particular diagonals AC and diagonal BD, the lengths will all be congruent on the interior. So if this is the midpoint or the point of intersection, is really what I'll call it. Is what it should be called. So I'll call that I for intersection. There's our intersection. That means that DI is congruent to BI. It's also congruent to AI and CI. So all four of the segments formed by a diagonal on a rectangle will be congruent, therefore the one lines. Please make sure you know that the diagonals BD and AC on a rectangle, they will have four congruent interior segments from the diagonals.